Super Dave here, and it's exciting to check out a Metroid or a Samus for our review today. But I am a little disappointed. She is a little bit big, and I don't know, just has some missing flair for an action figure of this cost and premium build. But we're going to take a look at it. Now, I am going to go and tell you that I do not put batteries in her. If you want to see a review with the batteries that have the light up feature, I'm going to put a link to Anthony's Customs, because he does an excellent review of this action figure and includes a segment where he shows the batteries installed, or I should say they are already installed, and shows the light up feature. I'm not that big of a fan of the light up feature. I don't have the batteries, and I didn't want to have to wait and order them from some place and get them back in here in time to do this review. But I'm not going to be putting batteries in mine and trying to use that feature. And if you watch Anthony's Customs, that'll explain it all. But without further ado, let's take a look at the box. This is a Bandi, officially licensed by Nintendo, but it is made by Machinations, Bandi. And just look at how beautiful that looks. Isn't that awesome? Now, no window, but there is like a glossy varnish here. And then you can see that backdrop. This is based on Metroid Prime 4. And I personally love that video game. I'm a bigger fan of that one than I am of the original, even the remastered version of it. Or the remastered, is it Prime? I forget what it is. Anyway, it's Prime Remastered.
And against old threats, challenge the odds, unravel the mysteries, and find a way home.
But just take a look at these action shots, or these action figure posing shots, I should say. And you can see them there. But there's quite a few the other poses that you can get her in. Now this right here is interesting. This shows all the parts that are die cast. So yeah, she's pretty hefty. Really cool. There's another shot on the top, and then another shot on the bottom. But let's go ahead and break her open and bring her over here to our space station and check her out. And here we are on a space station along with some other friends, getting ready to take a look at our Metroid from Prime 4 Beyond version. And first, let's take a look at her accessories. And since her right arm is preoccupied always pretty much with a blaster, she comes with 7 left hands. She comes with this nice gesturing hand, as you can see there. She also comes with one balled up fisted hand, a thumb up hand, a relaxed open palm. Well, I don't know, the fingers are curved in a little bit, and then this is more the relaxed open palm hand, and then a more gesturing hand with the 2 fingers, and then of course the psychic type hand. She comes with a tool to be able to switch on and off her different light up features, and a plug piece to cover up the place where you can insert her stand in her back. And then there is another stand piece that works with her back. I have the straight on in kind plugged in there, the one that goes straight on in, and this is a bendy type stand that the part that goes in her back has a bendy wire type that goes, it snaps into this base here, pretty cool looking base. It would have been nice if it had like a neat medallion to go in that little section there that says Metroid Prime 4 version, or Samus, Aaron, or something. but that we did not get that. And then there is, of course, this blaster piece, the one that we're used to, and then the blaster attachment that is more for the rocket launching style. And so both of those have a translucent end so that the light can light up through them. And when it does, it lights up purple on the end here. And of course, like I said, I'm not lighting mine up, but if it was, that would be glowing purple. And like I said, if you look at Anthony's Customs review of it, the light up feature does not really work that well. And so I'm not even going to mess with it, because until I can figure out a way to make it work better than what he was able to make it work, it's not even worth the time. The only part that you could even see, even when you turn off the lights, was the blaster part. The helmet and the chest and some of this, like the part up here on our forehead, and then the parts on the side of our helmet here. There's like a little line that goes up there. You were supposed to be able to see all of that glow with the light, but unfortunately it does not work to be seen anyway, other than in the blaster. So I'm not even messing with it. That's why I'm not messing with it. But yeah, this is an awesome looking Metroid, but that's all of her accessories, which, if you ask me, kind of on the small side, skimpy side for an action figure of this caliber. As part of the accessories, I was going to show you that she also comes with these instructions. They are in English and in Japanese, or Chinese, whichever. And you can tell that there. You can see what I was talking about as far as that stand. All right. And then if you want to open up this one, there's a list of the accessories that she comes with on the front. And then if you open it, it's going to show us how to put the batteries in. So I was going to show you that. It takes the LR41, 2 of those, and you take off the backpack here, jetpack, and it reveals the little place where you can squeeze in the 2 little LR41 batteries. And apparently you do have a piece that, a battery cover that you have to unscrew first. All right. And then also you need 2 more LR41s to go in the blaster. So it's not controlled by just 2 sets. You're gonna have to have 4, it looks like there. And then here it shows you how to turn on. You bend her over, you switch it on. And then over here, same thing, off and on. And then you should have the helmet area lit up, the chest area lit up, and the cannon lit up. And that's the only parts that light up. And it's going to show you butterfly joint, which we're getting ready to take a look at that. The pauldrons, the legs, and the way to change out the blaster. And again, the way to install the stand. And there's what I was telling you about, the 2 types of stands. This is more of a flight type stand that's at an angle, and this one's more of a standing stand, and it is bendy. And you snap that in until it clicks, and then she can stand on the stand sturdy. And it looks like you can even install the little tool on the bottom, so that's cool. Snap that in place, didn't know that. So there you go, that's part of the accessories other than the warning about the batteries. All right, but let's go ahead now and look at her articulation. All right, so bringing our Samus Aran on in here. She is looking impressive. And I went ahead and installed that psychic glove type hand there. You can see how that catches the light, does well there. It looks really neat. And like I said, all of this is die cast. That I believe is plastic. I believe the head's plastic. Hard to tell about this. It's hard to tell. I believe this is die cast. Of course, the skeleton is die cast. Hard to tell about this too. But like I said, you can look at that guide. I know this is all plastic right here. The legs feel metal. Feet are metal. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this articulation. She's only going to be able to look up. Now, you can pop it off that ball and get her to look up that much. Even more if you do that, and you can kind of hide it. But you see, I've popped it completely, and there's the LED right there. And the LED moves a little bit, as well as the head goes this way. It's weird that they didn't make it so that the head could go side to side more, but it doesn't. But yeah, not the best execution of head articulation, but it goes up that much without popping it off the ball. Goes down pretty much until it hits, but then it wants to bounce back up. Let's see if I do that. Yeah, you can get it to stay if you pop it off. Since I've got the head off, I wanted to see if you could see. You can see that shadow, unlike in the game. You can see the shadow of her face. You see the nose, you see the eye right there. It's really hard to tell, but it's there. You can see. It's a subtle, just like it's supposed to be. So if you did get it to light up, you might be able to see some of that. I don't know. But yeah, you can tell it's there. And again, this is supposed to light up, and then this here is supposed to light up. But moving on to, well, let me see. Like I said, no pivot. It will turn side to side. Get some pivot that way. Like that. Just not going to be able to get it straight on. But if you turn it, you'll be able to get some head pivot. So there you go. All right. Now these are on a separate hinge. You can see up in there. A little better now. And so you can move those so that you can get full T-pose. Of course, they will go full 360. There is a bicep swivel on both sides. You can see that metal on metal. And there is a butterfly joint. You can see it coming out the back there and going back in, and that's also metal. So it allows her to come across her chest pretty good amount there. As you can see. And while we're at it, we'll just go ahead and show you. I'll pop off that hand. There you go. How about that? Let's see, you can go across. Looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That doesn't press in or anything. Some of these spots here kind of look like they would move or something. They're not translucent, so there's no light up in any of this. You do have a little movement there, but let's go ahead and back into the articulation before, and so you can really get up high with those arms too. And I agree, this chest is a little narrow too here. All right, so you can crunch forward a little bit there. And this is just using the diaphragm. You can bend back slightly there. You can go side to side, and this is using the diaphragm. And you can also rotate a little bit. Now this right here gets out of the way, so when you do crunch forward, it presses in on that, and then it releases it when you go back. Okay, now you have also another joint right here at this cut right there. So if you combine the two, she's going to crunch forward a pretty decent amount there. And if you combine the two, not really much bending back using this part anyway. You get most of your bending back from the diaphragm. Now you can turn a little bit from that waist, but it's not going to go all the way before the metal hits metal there. So you be careful not to scratch your paint there. I've got a little scuff already on mine. There's no drop down method, but these legs are very interesting. Did you see that, the way it did? So you have, first of all, let's just mention that there is a thigh rotation built down into this part here. And then it's going to go up a really good amount. Excellent amount there. It's going to be able to go down and back. Really good amount. These move out of the way, so you're going to be able to go that far. Not going to be able to do splits, of course, but that's far enough for her. And there's also wiggle down in here, so it moves back and forth. You get some more range as it comes out like that. So you're going to be able to get pretty deep into some of those areas like so. And see, if you go out like that, definitely going to get more of a split look there, but there's just a lot that those legs will do. Looks pretty cool. Looking pretty good. All right, go back up here. There is a double jointed knee, and it has like a cover piece coming out here. Pretty good looking knee joint there, I think. It's metal. And I say that because it goes along with the suit. And I forgot to show you the arm. Looked at the bicep swivel, but I didn't show you the double jointed arms. So you see you got a double jointed arm there. Looks really cool. Looks good. Like I said, it goes along with the suit, in my opinion. All right. Really good knees. See how far back they go. That's as far back as that's going to go. Well, you can go like that if you bring the leg back, hit the lower back. Oops. I'm going to scratch that. That's a plastic piece right there. So just be careful. Going on to the foot. Oh, wow. Okay, I was just going to look and see how that is designed. See, that's a metal peg. And it's not going to go back very far at all. That's as far back as it goes right there. And then it goes up all the way. Goes up pretty good. And then you get really good rocker because there's a hinge down into the boot. So you get a good rocker going that way. How about going the other way? So it don't go the other way, it just goes in. But that would be the only place you would need it when you're styling when you're posing her around, though, really, truly. And then you have a toe hinge. So really cool. And then you see there's some texture on the bottom. So yeah, I think she has really good articulation. Minus the head, but beautiful paint job all the way around. This part keeps falling out on mine. All right, so I found it and I plugged it back in there so you can see it there. And I did get a little smudge on there because I put a little bit of glue to thicken up the peg because it is hard to get it to stay in there on my copy. But anyway, there you go. And then I don't know if I showed you, I don't think I did, but there's where you pop off. You need a Phillips screwdriver, a small one there to go in there to get the batteries in on that part. And this pops on there very easily. Yeah, pops right back on very easily. And the arm, I'm not sure. Looks like it may pop off. Yeah, there it goes right there. It's a shame there's no batteries in there, but like I said, I don't want to wait for batteries. But there you go. But that's all of her articulation and accessories and everything. All right, so I do want to go ahead and measure her right quick. She measures in exactly 8 1/4, I think. Let's see. 8 inches and a quarter to the top of her head. Right at 8 inches and a quarter. 8 1/4. So now for the important part, in my opinion. This is the make or break, and that is comparisons. And here is our Metroid along with other Metroid figures. That is Samus Aran from Metroid Prime, and there is Samus Aran from Metroid Dread. And you can see just how massive she is next to these. And this one was a little taller than this one, but I like all three of them. But I don't know, I still kind of prefer this one as far as height. But you know, these were a little small even for my Masters of the Universe when I was looking at them next to He-Man and the different figures. You know, because you know how I'll try to fit everything in with MOTU Universe somehow. Because you think about it, you know, you can have Roboto from Robotics, the planet Robotics, where all sentient beings are robots from the classic storyline anyway. And, you know, and these could have their origin from there, you know, and they've gone to different universes, different worlds. And even though Samus obviously is not a robot, you could pretend, you know, it's a robot if you wanted to. And here is Samus, by the way, and I've got her with her helmet on. But we'll go ahead and bring her in the pic. And there is Samus Aran from Figma. You can definitely tell she's not gonna fit, not unless she has to wear like stilts. Which, I mean, you could pretend that, I guess, but I don't know, it'd be kind of weird. You know, how much bigger is the suit from Tony Stark in Iron Man? Don't think it's that much, because you can see, let me put her next to, yeah, still the suit, you know, even in this scale here is bigger than she is. So it makes sense, you know, to a certain degree that the suit's a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. So we'd have to have a different Samus Aran. So if I was going to use this particular model in Masters of the Universe, I am going to have to pretend it's a robot. So that means I'd want to compare her to Ava and Roboto and some other figures, which we'll do in just a minute. But first, let's look at her beside our Pop Mart's die-cast Buzz Lightyear from the Lightyear movie. And here is our Bandai Nintendo licensed Samus next to our Pop Mart Buzz Lightyear and our Robotech Roy Fokker. And you see he's got his helmet. So you have a little bit of stepping stone. Now there may be a little bit of height here given by the disc, and I did that to cover up a seam, a ugly seam here in this platform, and to give her more stability. Buzz has some great stability with those boots there. This one falls over very easily, so I'm trying to get them even. So this may be just a tad taller than should be than her, and he may be a tad shorter than he should be just based on where they're standing, but pretty much you get the gist. She's taller than Roy, and Buzz is taller than Samus. And here is my custom Roboto, and I used pretty much the body of this ultimate cybernetic style. I'm not sure, I forget his name right this second. But anyway, this ultimate Superman suit. And I made my own Roboto using the head from the Masters of the Universe Classics pack. That head looks a lot like, I think, the 2000X. And then there's Gridman, Figma Gridman. He's really cool, I love him. And he's from Robotica, and you know, all these are from Robotica in my universe. And then here is Samus Aran, or Metroid. And then, well, I know it's not really Metroid, you know what I mean. And then here is Ava 1.0. And this is supposed to be the chick that drives Ava, that pilots her. So, you know, they're right about the same height, Ava and my Metroid here. I keep calling it Metroid, but it's Samus. And here's Samus, so you can see, I mean, you can use your imagination. Obviously, you remember in the actual Ava, if you're familiar with Evangelion cartoon anime, she gets in this capsule, and that capsule goes into the back of this unit here. And so she'd have to be tiny to be in scale with this armor. But, you know, again, like I said, you can pretend, right? And then can't we make the legendary Defender Voltron from Robotica? Put him in our Masters of the Universe saga as well. He is so cool. Wow. The legendary Defender of the Universe, Voltron. Dun 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 dun. Boom boom. Well, I mean, the colors go together, right? Matches Roboto and Gridman, right? So here you go. Why not? Okay, so what do you think? You have your Masters of the Universe Vintage Collection Man-at-Arms with a Hordak MX head sculpt. That is the helmet he came with. Then you have our Revolution Battle Armor He-Man with a Hordak MX head sculpt. And then you have our new Eternia Roboto, and he's nice and tall. Of course, he is standing on this platform. But yeah, I mean, is she taller? Yes. But could she go with Masterverse? I also say yes. So I like it. I think that in a lot of ways, it may make a little bit more sense than this one. Now, I like this one, like I said earlier, still probably my favorite in scale as far as being able to mess around with her in posability and just, you know, doing the thing. Like, you know, I got some of these cool, forget who, I think it was Jack's Toys. Now these are Metroids here. Those are actual little Metroids. But yeah, I mean, to have some fun. But I really think that this one, even though it doesn't scale well with pretty much anything, you know, again, using your imagination, I think her being taller from Robotica than He-Man and Man-at-Arms makes sense. Maybe a little bit more than having her so short. So that's what I'm going with in my universe. So there you have it, folks. We have our Samus Aran in, I would say, Man-at-Arms workshop here underneath the Palace of Eternia, where he's working on some stuff here for sure. And he's got all kinds of things going on. He's got all kinds of things going on over here. All kinds of things. Even working on the lights of Voltron. We have our Roboto at work here. We have our Samus Aran. There's Ava back there still. He-Man. And Man-at-Arms says, I'm getting ready to get back to work. Cool. And just in case anybody wondered, as far as Masters of the Universe, even motherboard doesn't fit in scale with Samus. She is definitely taller. So, I mean, you know, can't say that there aren't beings this tall. You remember Titus, and then there's some others too in the classics. But anyway, she's a really cool figure, and a lot bigger than our Samus. And last but not least, here is our Samus next to our 2000X Mundo 1/12 scale He-Man. And there is our New Eternia Roboto. They're in battle formation, getting ready to go after some Skeletor behind. Looks so cool. All right. So yeah, I mean, it could work. It could work for sure. And so I am now officially happy with this Metroid. I'm just a big Metroid fan. I've always liked it since the early days, and even back then I used to call her Metroid, and used to call him too, for that matter. Because that was just, you know, we just didn't know a whole lot about her when it was all being played in the 80s cartoon. Not cartoon, but of course there was a cartoon too. But I mean the 80s video game, the original NES in the 80s. And such a cool game. But anyway, there you go. And thank you so much for joining us for this Super Dave review. It has been a blast taking a look at this Samus Aran by Bandi to Sami Nation, and alongside of Ava and the rest of the gang here. So thank you for joining us. Like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe if you've not done so. Come back and see us. Comment if you have something to share, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Be blessed. Here's some photos in the photo gallery.